weight loss, and wellness. I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning, Coach. How are you?
Hey, great. Did you adjust my sound by chance?
I did.
Okay.
Is it too high, too low?
Well, no, I just want to make sure I'm not blasting everybody's ears out and I'm not even near my
You-
mic.
You are currently at 71.
All right.
So
So let me know, audience, if I'm
let
too
us
loud.
know if we're blaring. Yes. I don't know why yours does that because
I don't touch anything.
We have this. No, we don't have the same kind of mic. So
Not anymore because you had to get all cool on me
I
and
had
have
to
a
get
cute
the
pink one.
cute pink one. Yep. Did
And
you have a good week? Well, have you had a good week? It's only Tuesday.
listen, it's been a weekend.
It's been a week.
Yeah, I have been having my sixth grader growing up and now no longer going to be in elementary school. So yeah, there's emotions that this mama thought that she'd never have.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I got to spend time with him on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And he came to youth group with me for the first time. And he's like, after he said, "Mom, I had a really great day spending time with you today." And I was like, "Me too, buddy. It's great." So
I tell you, all the feels. This is the week of feels.
Listen.
Because can we talk about mine?
Well, yeah, yours is more important.
No, it's not.
So is.
But I'm just telling you, prep yourself because, wow, grandbabies.
She came quick.
She did.
She did.
She is the most beautiful thing I've ever laid eyes on. I'm telling you.
Her little squishy cheeks.
We had our first baby granddaughter.
Oh.
And when you had your second boy, you're like, oh, how can we love the second one, as much as the first one? And then you get grandbabies and you're like, is it possible to love them more than your own children? Can I say, yeah?
Your children are learning real quick that is the case.
Yeah.
They have been put aside.
It's just about a math problem. It hit me as I was watching my beautiful daughter-in-law push that baby out, and watching my son hold her. It is just one big math problem. That's all it is. It's not any more less love, more love. It's math problem, and it's called multiplication. I'm serious because you multiply the love you have for your own kids.
Yeah.
When you see that little grandbaby, you multiply
my
it.
kids then created this thing.
This kid, 1 times 1 equals,
yeah,
1 times 2. I don't do math, but it's big. It's big.
I was gonna say 1.
It's really big. I'm telling you. It's amazing. So congratulations to Andrea and Tony. Beautiful work. Job well done. Yeah. Grammy is so happy. So yeah. And then we had a graduation.
Yeah. And a birthday.
And I had a birthday. My youngest turned 21. We have had a lot. And my poor house cleaner is here today. And all I could do is say, I'm so very sorry. I'm so very sorry.
She's probably thinking, what did you do?
There was still green beans on my stove. It's been a week.
We also had, a celebration of life.
It was the most beautiful service.
Yeah.
Coach Darcy and I already requested our eulogy by our uncle. Well, at least I did. I'll speak for myself.
Well, you did. I don't know. I plan on other exiting ways, but
my gosh, yeah, it was beautiful. So our Uncle Mike he described him brilliantly, that he was an others person. When you knew Uncle Mike, and I'm older than you, so I knew more of my Uncle Mike than you did. But literally, whenever anybody was around him, it was all about others. If you knew his people, you knew others, and those others were your people.
And it became like this giant circle.
giant circle of
Yeah.
others. And,
I
and our
liked
uncle said it was othering. He was a very good
yes.
othering person.
Yes. And I liked how he described how, like, he was a part of his others.
Uh-huh.
Like, he was his
Yeah.
other, but
Yeah.
then he was a part of his
Of
other
his
others.
others. Yeah.
And so he, like, may not be, hanging out with him all the time, but he
Yeah.
knew that he was still a part of his others.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was awesome. It was
That's a
it was
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about our clients during that because I always think about our clients. I
Yeah.
always revert it back to what they're going through because it's hell that they're going through a lot of times. And I was thinking as he was talking about others how so many times we let food control our lives and it becomes all about us. And it is our kids who are going to pay for that because they're going to not have a mom. They're not going to
Yeah.
have a grandma, or they're not going to have 100% of the moms and grandmas because they can't move
Right.
because
But
they're so sick,
in the
right?
same breath, their mindset is off because they think if they join in with them,
Hmm.
then they're,
Yeah,
becoming unhealthy. Like, so it's
right.
reverse,
It's reverse othering.
reverse othering.
Yeah,
So it's not selfish to be focusing on your health, y'all. Just
yeah.
saying, nudge, nudge. Like,
It's not.
it is,
It's the responsible thing to do.
it really is.
You are not othering if you are shoving sugar down your throat because
Mm-hmm.
your kids are telling you to do that. You're not
Yeah.
othering then because you're going to die earlier because you're not going to be here living your best life with your kids. So when
Yeah.
you take care of yourself first, that is called othering. That is
Right.
bringing others into your life because you're going to be here longer. And that's what you and I discovered, our keto, my keto anniversary is coming up here, 8 years.
Look at you.
I decided to change my life because I wanted others to be impacted. I wanted to stick around here for my new grandchildren.
Yeah.
And so when you put yourself first, when you think that you're putting yourself first by participating in all of the festivities and all the sugar poisoning and all of that, you're actually being selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're not going to be here long enough, you know?
Yeah.
And I know that sounds exaggerative, but we've seen it happen. We've watched lives fall apart because of eating addiction and sugar
Mm-hmm.
addiction. And so it really meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the celebration of his life, in true form to Uncle Mike, we did this little. I've never seen it done before.
Never.
What did they call it?
It was New Orleans parade.
New Orleans
What is
parade
it?
around
Like
the
a,
gravesite.
yeah.
And we all looked at each other like, what the heck is going on? We put on all of these things and they had a trumpet in front and we just walked around. And it was so cool because I got to catch up with my not estranged because we're not estranged, we just don't see each other. My cousin, like we
Yeah.
just had the best time walking around the gravesite. So anyway, we've had a really busy couple of weeks and we're just kind of taking it all in and
Yeah.
taking a deep breath. And yeah, here we are live Tuesday morning.
Yes.
Facebook, social media.
social media.
Yeah.
Back to the
Share this.
mindset of health and wellness.
Yeah.
It's never off of our mind, but
Never.
you know,
Share this with your family.
yeah.
If you've got somebody on a GLP-1, this show is for you today.
Yeah.
We're not talking to those of you who are on GLP-1. You can listen in
Mhm.
because you're going to learn something. But a lot of times I am reached out to probably multiple times a day from family, from friends, from social media acquaintances with parents, family members, aunts, uncles who are terrified because their family members have chosen a GLP-1 and they've done enough research to know the truth about them. And we're gonna kind of take a neutral-ish stance because I want to put a disclaimer on the front side of things. I understand that there's a place for a GLP-1. I understand that there are times that it could potentially help. And as a practitioner, we have to come to that. We work with all sorts of clients. We work from the extremely addicted to the emotionally addicted to we work with all of them. And there is not one treatment plan that is identical to another because everybody's bio individual, right? And so there have been times that this coach who you think is anti GLP-1 who has recommended that for a client of mine.
Mhm.
when we've tried everything else, when everything else has failed. And there's a list, there's a litany of items that we check off of, okay, this is not working. So there is a place and a time for a GLP-1. What is not supposed to happen is what's happening now, and people taking them like candy.
Yeah.
And
Because
yeah, go ahead.
let's be honest, because it seems to be a quick and easy way out.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a new form of a diet pill that we used to
Yeah.
have back in the day, or the laxatives,
Oh yeah.
or,
The
fill in the
fen-phens.
blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
Um,
easy way out for most people that are on it.
yeah.
Yeah. And the problem is now we're starting to see the side effects. Now we're starting to see the GLP-1 tolerance kick in. We're starting to see the ugly kick its head up. But the problem is now we have an addiction problem where these people are addicted to the GLP-1 because they've killed their metabolism so much. There's no way out for them. And so we're starting to see the ugly. I don't know if you saw the Sharon, what's her last name?
Osborne.
Sharon
Yeah.
Osborne story where she
Ooh.
can't gain weight. This woman is dying and she can't gain weight. We're starting to see the ugly kick up and family members panicking like, hey, Monica, I know you talk about GLP-1. My family member is on this. My gosh, I'm scared to death. What do I do? So that's what
Yeah.
we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk to the family members of those people who have chosen a GLP-1. We're going to start out with a maybe an unexpected kind of turn in the story about the need for empathy. You and I went through weight loss, 130
Mhm.
pounds, 75 pounds for you. We went through all of that naturally. We support natural weight loss because single reason you'll keep it off. Period. And you'll live longer. You're reversing your metabolic disease. There's so many good things about natural weight loss. However, me sitting on the campus of Grace College in Winona Lake, Indiana, begging God to take the fat off my body, right? You use the term laser.
Yeah. Yes.
You had yours in the bathroom. You had your
I
moment
did.
of please laser this fat off
Yes.
my body,
If
right?
I could just start fresh.
Begging God, please help me take this fat off my body. If you help me, I will never put it on again. That led to starvation diets, that led to laxatives, that led to all of the unhealthy ways. Had this drug been out, I would have taken it. Thank God the drug wasn't out back then because of what we're seeing happen to all of these people who are taking it. Again, is there ever a time for a GLP-1? Yes, there is.
Can you
There
explain when?
So I
Let's
would say mine is very narrow, and mine is more narrow than most
Okay.
practitioners. But there's a lot of practitioners who are saying if there's been, abstinence, if you are abstinence based and you've relapsed about 6 times, we're not talking about intuitive eating here, folks. Intuitive eating does not work for a food addict. And most of us are not willing to deal with the food addiction side of things. There's two sides of food addiction. There is the chemical side where you are chemically addicted, where you need more and more and more. You can't put that cookie down. You can't just eat one cookie. You are literally chemically addicted. There is a picture in your brain. If you got a PET scan, there's a picture. Your brain would look like somebody on cocaine, right? So there's chemical, and then there's the eating addiction side where you are emotionally addicted to food. The treatment for those are the same. It's abstinence-based treatment. So if you are just trying to diet and you can't lose weight because you're trying to diet and you don't have abstinence as part of your plan, no, GLP-1 is not for you because you're not dealing with the root and the cause of it, which is eating addiction, which is dealing with the feels, dealing with the chemical addiction, right? So if you have not tried that kind of treatment, no, it's not an option. But for those there are some people I have had in my practice, in my addiction practice. It's relatively newer. We opened 2 years ago, a year ago. I think it was a year ago. We
Yeah.
opened our
Yeah.
first clientele wave. We've had about 30 go through that. I have recommended it for 2. That's how narrow it is, okay?
Yeah.
And for that particular client, it was a relapse of over 6 times. That is without the latest treatment that we have found with allulose.
Yeah.
We are finding that being like the magic of treatments is bringing in the allulose protocol. So that was before that
Mhm.
whole thing was
Right.
introduced.
Right.
So because people are finding out, because it is considered a shortcut, it is considered cheating, it's considered the easy way out. What has happened because of that is this overwhelming shame. And I would have experienced that. I was willing to try anything. Literally, I did. Laxatives on the brand new Bible study that we went to. Took them out morning. Let me tell you, it wasn't pretty. So because people are so ashamed, these GLP-1 users are going undercover. Now, there's two kinds of GLP-1 users. There's the I will fight to the bitter
Yeah.
core to cheer on, to support and to counter any person that says anything negative about GLP-1. Just go to the GLP-1 sites and you will see those people are like, whoo, you don't say anything negative. Even if you end up in the hospital with a paralyzed stomach, how dare you say something negative about a GLP-1? And they will defend it to the death, literal death. I've seen it happen. So there's those kind of people, but then there's the secret people, the people that are so full of shame that they don't tell anybody that they're on it. Those are the ones that we are fearful for because of what we know is ahead for them. And so a lot of family members know the dangers of a GLP-1. They're watching their family members. Somebody on my Facebook page described it as when you're on a GLP-1, you kind of look like a melting candle. And more than one person has said to me, they look empty. Their souls look empty when they're on it. Their faces sunken in and they look empty and that is one of the mental health side effects of a GLP-1.
Mhm.
So you have family members watching their other family members go down that path and they're terrified. So that's who we're talking to today. What do you say? And if you are in this category, we'd like you to put some of your suggestions in the comments. What do you do for those people? For those people who know that their family members have chosen a GLP-1, what do you do? A lot of you know my story of wanting to find out what a GLP-1 felt like, wanting to go through the process, wanting to put myself on the front lines after losing the 130 pounds. I had some weight that I still could play around with, so I knew I was a little bit safer, so I had a doctor put me on it for a summer. And because of that, I built a program because I knew we are not, this is not going away. Okay. This is not going away. People are going to choose this route, right? So what do we do to help people in this? Okay. So that's kind of what we want to talk to you about today is what do you do if you have a family member on it? The first thing you do is you don't bring shame to them. I know how they feel. You remember standing in that bathroom?
Mm. Yeah.
We know how they feel.
Yeah.
They think that they have tried everything.
It's the lowest of lows.
Really is.
Yeah.
And it's real. It is not something they'll just get over it. It is a real sense of desperation, which brings on a real sense of shame when they decide to choose the GLP-1 route. So when I took that summer and I did the GLP-1, it is hauntingly scary what you feel on it. I thought I knew what food noise was. I thought that I knew. I thought I knew what it was about. I didn't until I actually experienced it. I couldn't eat over 800 calories, which is why people are super fast losing weight and they're looking like melted candles because you cannot sustain that kind of weight loss. You just can't. Your body can't. It's like it literally is melting, right?
Yeah.
And so I got to a point where I was down to about 800 calories. I did lose the weight 100%. But when it came down to the end of it, I had to reverse my diet. So through all of that experience, we came up with a GLP-1 recovery program. And talking to my colleagues in the addiction world, we've had to work with this. It's not a topic that I wanted to deal with because I am such a I'm such a sold out girl on natural weight loss, and I know that it's possible, and I know that you can recover from food and eating addiction. So that's my lane of work, but we can't ignore GLP-1s. So, Darcy, when you think about empathy and you think about these family members who are scared for their family who are on it, what would be the first piece of advice that you would give to them when they email and say, "Gosh, I am scared. My sister is on that. She looks like a melted candle. She she's losing her insurance because that's what happens. They get you hooked on the drug and then they remove the insurance." What would you tell that person who is a family member instead of yelling at them for being on it, which is what we'd like to do? Like, what we're thinking.
Honestly, that is my initial. Like,
Yeah.
you want to. Like, why are you doing this to your body? But then you have to resort to, if you have ever had a feeling of the lowest of lows for
Yeah.
yourself,
It's real.
the moments of how did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
Then you wish that you had somebody that had sympathy for you in a way of just being a support,
Yeah.
being
here
there
for
for
you.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing that, like, no, I don't agree with your choices, but I am here for you no matter what. I'm not going to shame you.
Mm-hmm.
I am concerned, but I am not going to shame you for this
Yeah.
choice. And that is a vast majority of Americans right now taking this shot, and I guess there's people on the outside too, taking this shot.
Yeah.
But it comes down to knowing that they had that feeling and they got, there's a lot more to it than just being pressured by the doctor. Like, there's that pressure, but that pressure plus how they already feel
Yes.
is going to make them have that decision.
Right.
And
Exactly.
with that decision, then of course they're, that's what they made. You can't change their mind.
Yeah. No, you can't.
We sit here on this program, on the show, whatever we call it, and we talk about what the GLP-1 is. And if that's not going to change somebody's mind, there's no changing their mind.
Well, just look at the pharma commercials. I mean, half of the commercials and I am cheering for the day that those pharma commercials are banned. I am cheering for that day because they put these nice little pretty,
Cute little
cute umbrellas, everything
cartoons.
is great, followed by a list that is longer than the actual commercial itself of all the side effects. And people still trust their doctor. They still take that medication, regardless of the million side effects, the black box warnings. Here's some stats for the GLP-1. 66% of lost weight on these GLP-1s is regained within a year of stopping. 6.9% weight regain within 40 weeks after the semaglutide, after the Ozempic. And people, 80% are off of the GLP-1 within 2 years because of the heavy side effects, because it stops working. So the weight is coming back. The weight is raging back, sometimes 13 pounds within a month. You are on a GLP-1 when you choose this. You're on it for life, period. No other question. You're on it for life if you choose this and you want to keep the weight off. So a lot of people are like, well, that's fine. And we've got some holistic practitioners who are saying, yeah, put them on it for life. Doesn't matter about the side effects. Put them on it for life. And they're all pro lifelong GLP-1s.
Can I just hold on?
Yeah.
Let me just chime in for just a random thought, because I was just thinking about it's not HIPAA when it's your dad, right? I don't know.
Forgiveness later.
I'll ask for forgiveness, but basically he's on a medication for life because of cancer, right? Like, so he's on
alive.
To keep him alive.
Yeah.
But here's what people are not necessarily thinking about. Like, over the times that you are needing to take this for life, there's going to be adjustments in prices. There's going to be like new presidents. There's going to be new bills. There's going to be new everything. There's no guarantee that you're grandfathered in on that price when you start it.
No.
Just like, dad's medication.
Mm-hmm.
It started out very small and then something happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was thousands of dollars in order to have it monthly,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
cannot survive on that alone, just so
And it's
who's to
happening
say
now.
exactly?
Insurance policies give them a $25 coupon, almost pay them to get on it, and then they remove the insurance and they're stuck with $1,300 a month. So that person thinking, okay, I could tolerate this for life. I don't have any side effects. I could do this for life. Suddenly are screwed because insurance has said, "Ha, I'm out of here."
Right. I mean,
The
I just had that thought.
FDA, yeah,
Just like it's easy to say that, even if they are even changing the formula
yeah,
in whatever they're consuming, because there's so many people on it,
mm-hmm,
um, that, they can't keep up. That's also happened already.
mm-hmm.
Like they can't keep up making
They can't.
this medication
Yeah,
for all the people that are on it.
yeah,
So there's things to think about before you get
yeah.
on it,
I heard a
for sure.
statistic that if Medicaid or Medicare ever pays for it, it will bankrupt our country because there's so many of us that are obese. And it will bankrupt our country. And so that's not an option as far as, oh well, let's just have taxes pay for it. Let's just include it in insurance. There's a lot more to that we know about. It will bankrupt our system if people, because 54% of us are obese in our country. So here's an even scarier part. And this is why, by the way, they are putting our kids on it, which is criminal.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely criminal to put a kid on a GLP-1, because they know if they get that kid on it, first thing, they've got a lifelong patient right there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a really scary part of this that nobody's talking about, but you know who's going to talk about it. Thank God for people like Vera Tarman, because
Right.
she is willing to talk about it. She's willing to say, she understands there's a place for it. There's a tool. This is used as a tool. But she's also saying, hey, I got to ask a question here. So here's a really scary part of this GLP-1 thing. Clinicians report diminishing hunger suppression after 1 or 2 years, with weight gain resuming, suggesting a tolerance and an adaptation for this GLP-1. So let's say that, okay, I'm okay being on it for life. I am very wealthy. I will always have money to purchase it. It will always be in my repertoire of medications. 1 to 2 years, we are seeing an adaptation. You hear about this with antibiotics, right? Adaptation. That's why there's so many. Weight starts to come back while you're on it. And now you're addicted to it. Now your body can't handle without it. You are going to start regaining the weight because of simple math. It's called calorie surplus, calorie deficit. It's called metabolic adaptation. And now your body is starting to become adapted to a GLP-1. Here's the other thing. A lot of people say, and I said this at Grace College, God, if you just take the weight off of my body, I will never put it on again. Not understanding that when I took the weight off of my body and I tried to starve myself, I metabolically adapted my body way down here to 800 calories. So when I went to eat a normal meal at Texas Roadhouse, that is 1,200 calories, which is what it takes to keep a toddler alive. I started gaining weight at 1,200 calories. It's math. Simple math. That's what's happening on the GLP-1. So we've got metabolic adaptation down here at 800 calories, and we've got insurances being removing this, so people are cold turkey off of it. But then we've got those people who say, okay, I'm going to be on it for life, no problem, I can afford it. We got tolerance happening. And then we have the people who say, like I felt, God, if you just take this fat off of my body, I will never put it on again. You've got those people who lose that weight. They look like melted candles. They look like they've been through a war. So they stop the medication and then they see, oh my gosh, they're right. The weight is coming back quickly. I got to do something. I'm going to go get the medication again. Guess what happens when they get it the second time? Doesn't work. So we've got the adaptation. To me, as a practitioner, that is my most scariest part of this entire story, right? So again, let's bring it back to the family. Let's talk about all of that. That is the truth. You can fight me on it statistics take care of themselves. We're watching it happen. We haven't even talked about the muscle loss and what these poor people are going to look like when they're 80 some years old with no muscle tone. That's the backbone of life, is your muscle tone.
Right.
So we
And
didn't even talk about that.
right, as you age, you've lost that human growth hormone that makes it challenging to build muscle.
Yeah.
So if you are losing weight rapidly, losing your muscle rapidly,
Yeah.
not working out, and I know that they emphasize here, I'm going to give them credit.
Yes.
I'm going to give them credit
Yes.
because they talk about you need to be exercising regularly. You need to have a healthy choice diet.
Yes.
But what doesn't happen, just like why doctors have given up on nutrition when they've never really even did nutrition, because nobody listens. Nobody does the things. That's why nobody wants to do a weight loss naturally, because it's hard work. There's a lot of temptations. And you mentioned the chemical imbalance or the chemically addicted part of it. And I just want to say on that, like, it's not necessarily your fault.
No.
It's those companies that have put those chemicals in there and have lied to us saying that they are healthy to eat.
Right.
So for the fact of the matter, chemical addiction, is not necessarily your fault.
Right.
But in the same breath, not eating whole foods is, a part of it. So, I know that you were taking in another route, but I just wanted to chime in on that. Like just the fact that there's those things to think about.
It really is. Yeah. And so when you think about all of this, we didn't talk about the suicidal ideation. We didn't talk about the numbing factor of numbing your feelings. Never once have I had a client, and we have had lots of clients on a GLP-1. Never once have I had a client remain true. Now, that I know of, let me put that disclaimer. Remain true to our eating plan, because when you're on a GLP-1, you use it as an excuse so that you can, because sometimes, number one, you can't eat anything else because you feel so sick, because you're vomiting and you are craving the sugar. I have not had a successful client remain on plan without excuses of falling off plan because they're laying back and relying on that GLP-1 to make the weight come off of them. So they cheat. Lots and lots of cheat meals happen with the GLP-1 because the medication's going to make me lose weight anyway. So I don't need to follow KM Health Coaching's plan. And so having a client remain true to the program and remain true is very, very difficult. Lots of cheat days when it comes to that. So we have we have no choice but to work with this, right? Because people are going to make this choice regardless of how many warning signs are out there, regardless, because it's just they are so desperate to get that weight off their body, right? So what we have done is we were like, okay, we have to walk alongside of these people. So if you are a family member and your family has decided to go this route, number one, no shame. Empathize with them. They're desperate. They are so desperate to get their lives back that they're willing to do anything, right? Be there for them and say, when you're ready, I have an answer for you. Learn the science behind the metabolism. We created a GLP-1 recovery program. And by the way, if you are on a GLP-1 and you're ready to come off and you're like, I'm not liking what I'm hearing. I want to learn how to do this right. Do not contact us without giving us 4 months before you stop taking the shot. We need you on the shot 4 months before, because we have to reverse your diet. We have to titrate your weight loss drug down, as well as getting a natural GLP-1 in place. We've got to get you on the food program, and we need 4 months to work with you to reverse your diet, to recover your metabolism. So if you are on the shot and you're like, I want off of the shot, I need you for 4 months before. Okay. It's a lot of hard work that we're going to have to do together to get your calorie intake back to where you're supposed to be. Okay. It's science. It's math. Second, assure your loved ones that there is a way out. Assure them without any judgmental, I can't believe you chose this, but there's this other way out. Don't do that. Be very, very empathetic. Be there for them and say, when you're ready, I know a way out. Don't panic and don't stop the shot out of panic. Don't stop it right away because you're going to have a miserable time and it will backfire if you do that. You've got to strategically get out of it. Okay. Let them know that there is a scientific reason why the weight comes back. It's your metabolism. It is metabolic adaptation why the weight comes raging back. Because your body has adjusted at that new low calorie, and then when you eat normal again, you're gonna 3,500 calories is a pound. Okay, you add that on for a week. That's how the weight comes back. Okay, there is a way out, but it has to be done strategically. And we are really working on beefing up our program so that we have all of those areas covered: the emotional, the food addiction. A lot of people in the food addiction world are excited because thank goodness we have found a drug now to remove the food addiction and the eating addiction. Well, of course they did. They replaced one addiction with another, right? It is not their healing from food addiction. They're being medicated. They're medicating the food addiction. That's not real healing, right? Abstinence is real healing and working through. They're really excited about the alcohol impact. It's which drug do you want? Do you want real freedom without the drugs? Then it's going to take a lot of dang hard work. But again, there's a place, possibly a place for this drug, but people are running straight to it. So, can you think of anything else that, as family members, and when you have this here, this is a reality now. It's a shortcut. People don't want to. They don't want to work for anything now.
Here's something that just popped in my mind. So it's starting to be formed.
Uh-huh.
So bear with me.
This is live, folks.
This is live thought. So when you have the concern for somebody, I think you kind of have to, it's kind of like when you're pointing at one person, you got also have a log in your eye kind of thing where like check yourself.
Yeah.
Check your own self.
Yeah.
If you're living a lifestyle and you see that it's working for you, maybe, use that as encouragement. Like, hey, let's do this together. Like, we need to work out together. You need to make sure that you keep your muscles up. Like if they're on the shot and they're not exercising and they look like that, then encourage them. Hey, let's work out together. Be their accountability. Because if you put your feet in their shoes, and you go back to what you deal with as well, like the temptations of people just shoving food in your face, the temptations of all the desserts and sweets that we have in the United States that we go to, the emotions, all of those things. If you think of all those situations that they're going through and knowing that we go through that too, being a support in that way of like, hey, I get it. Like you're probably feeling this way too. So let's do this together.
Yeah.
And it might not be the same way that you might be I might be eating a carnivore lifestyle. Somebody else may be on the shot, but you can still do things together as accountability so that, they are, eating better too. Maybe they're exercising.
Yeah. Don't just drop shame and run.
Yeah. You might, the side effects, you have educated yourself on that. We have educated ourselves on that. And we advise not to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of hard work getting out.
We beg you
not to. But in the same breath, like Coach Monica is talking about, like we know what you are going through, the feelings that you're going through. You chose a different pathway, but we just want to encourage you to do the things that the shot people tell you to do by exercising and eating right. Yeah. Don't be going and binge eating because you can. That's not going to benefit you.
If you struggle with eating addiction and food addiction, abstinence is your only way. Same with the shot or without the shot. Abstinence is the only way.
Well, then also 1 in 3 people have a food addiction. So you might not be out of the clear yourself if you're not.
Yeah. Again, it's because we live in a country here in the States that promotes and idolizes ultra processed foods. We lean towards that anyway. If you're on the shot, you cannot eat those foods anymore. If
Right.
you want whole body healing, right? Again, can you use it as a tool? Yeah, you can. Come into the program. We'll teach you how to eat. We'll teach you how to manage your caloric intake. We'll teach you how to do it right. Then potentially you could use it as a great tool. Then you titrate off of it. You get your calories back up. You're already eating. You've dealt with the food addiction. You've dealt with the demons in your closet, and then you're ready to live life again. You're ready to get out there and do this thing on your own because you have put in the hard work. If you don't put in the hard work, no matter the program that you're on, you're going to gain the weight back.
Yeah.
We don't want you to do that. We do not want you to gain the weight back. So we struggle as coaches because we are wholeheartedly 100% on board with natural weight loss because you can do it.
Yes.
It takes hard work. You can do it. We struggle because we also know there's a whole bunch of people out there right now who are addicted to GLP-1 and they can't get out. And so we have to be very careful now to put some negativity out there about it because there's so many people on it. So we are right in the middle.
Yeah.
I can't cross over yet. I cannot cross over as some of the holistic practitioners are doing because they are right. People don't want to work for weight
They
loss
don't.
anymore. So it's easier to prescribe something. It's easier to do that. I'm still stuck right in the middle between both worlds.
Mhm.
And I cannot cross over to even the holistic side of things yet. I can't do it because I
Yeah.
know what's happening. I know what's going to happen to these people. The weight is raging back and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And you can't get back on the GLP-1 again because you've built up a tolerance.
Right.
I can't be cool like those practitioners out there saying, "Okay, let's do this." I can't be cool like them.
And I think that's
I wish
okay.
I could. I wish I could.
I think it's okay. But we have found that this whole, I don't think anybody's heard of the word GLP-1 since like ever before. Like maybe they have, like doctors and the
Mhm.
scientists know what GLP-1. But this is another modern fad word that people know. But
Right.
the fact is that there's certain foods naturally that you can eat that trigger those hormones in your body to be able to feel full.
Yes.
And so, and the more and more that we have discovered like certain foods and the combinations and
Yeah.
what have you, we know that there is a natural way
There
of
is.
doing it. But
Protein, allulose.
Yeah.
I can't unsee the whole allulose thing.
No, I can't
I'm
either.
like, we came to group last night and I've experienced it and since I've started, I've lost 2 pounds just sitting here doing nothing because I'm not hungry.
Mhm.
I'm doing the allulose protocol. I'm not hungry anymore. Put in my coffee first thing in the morning. Don't care for the taste. I don't care. I like what I'm feeling, right?
Mhm.
It is what, 11:49. I haven't put a thing in my mouth yet except for my allulose, my coffee. I feel great. Carnivore, you feel the same impact. Like I said, I tried the
Yep.
GLP-1 for a summer. I know what no food noise means. I know how I felt. Scary. You feel the same thing with carnivore. If you can't do that, you feel the same thing with allulose,
Mhm.
right? We have
Yep.
the pendulum products is what we put our folks on that come in. I don't know if I'm going to replace it with the allulose now because I almost feel the allulose is more powerful than the pendulum products. Again, it's
Yeah.
just a statement that I'm
Yeah.
just making out of live on air, but it's powerful.
Yes.
I just wrote an allulose protocol for every single one of our clients. I want them all on it because it is great stuff.
It is.
Great traveling stuff too. You know,
Mhm.
those sugar packets they have, great to throw in your purse
Yes.
when you're going to a party. So the biggest thing we can say to you if you've got family members, well, first of all, if you're on a GLP-1, there's hope for you. You're not stuck in it. You just have to work a little bit hard. You got to learn the eating practices. You've got to learn how to do the reverse diet. You can do this thing. You don't have to fall into there's no hope for me, right? The second thing, if you're a family member, please put on the empathy hat first. It's really easy as one who is right there with you to post articles about you're going to die. It's very easy to do that. And sometimes there's a need for that. Sometimes somebody just needs to wake up and understand the danger that they're really putting themselves in.
Right.
Totally get that. But if you got a close family member who's desperate, please put yourself in their desperation shoes first because I would have done anything. Thank God there was no GLP-1 when I was overweight, because I would have taken it.
Right.
I know me. I know me. I didn't believe that there was any hope for me. I didn't believe that one more diet would work for me. I didn't believe it. I would have done it. I know I would have.
Yeah. I know I would have if it had vitamin on it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the next.
Diet
That's
pill vitamin. Yeah.
or a wrap.
Or
A
wrap.
skinny
Oh
wrap.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Never again.
Never again. Guys, we want you to know you can be free naturally. And the cool thing about it is you don't even have to do it drudgingly. Steak with butter. We eat real food.
Mhm.
Real food, no dieting. Are you going to have to struggle through some addiction that you're, withdraw? Absolutely. Is it hard? Absolutely. But I'm telling
Especially
you,
when you have family members,
yeah,
gloating about their delicious apple
yeah.
pie that they made and
And they're
make
on
you
a shot and losing
yeah.
weight.
Yeah.
It's fake weight loss.
Yeah.
There's no other way to say it. It is fake weight loss. And
Well,
people who are pro GLP-1 are like, how dare you say that? No, it's fake.
if you think
Get
about the
off of
science
it.
behind it though, like
Yeah.
fat cells don't go away. Like they
No.
shrink,
Yeah.
but they don't go away.
Yeah.
So what's happening is that your fat cells are shrinking.
Your
Great.
muscle's gone.
Your muscle's going too.
Mm-hmm.
Which that one is hard to build back up,
Yeah.
but those fat cells will come back.
Yeah. For
And
those people who say, how dare you say that? My response to them is, I will believe you if 2 years from now you come to me off of the drug and your weight is still gone. Let's talk then. Not one single person is able to do that. Right. And so,
yeah, we don't know. We haven't had. I mean, there could be somebody that does it. I don't know.
that person is one who is taking their health seriously and is
Yeah.
eating right.
Right.
Not somebody who's having cheat days, not somebody who's off plan, not somebody who is not, it's somebody who is not leaning on the drug as the ultimate source.
Mhm.
So put on empathy. I know it's hard. And I want to hug you when you message me and say, but my daughter chose this route. I want to hug you because I know what's going to happen to her. But put on empathy first, even if you don't feel it. Put it on first. Let her know there's a way out. There's a way that she can do both. Don't knock out the GLP-1. You got to use it. Again, don't come to us if you are on a GLP-1 and you're taking that last shot. You're going to go through hell and back when that food noise comes back. That's not going to work. We need you on it. So don't take her shot away, but say, how about if we add something? And like Darcy said, 100% do it with her.
Mhm.
Don't just tell her what to do.
Yeah.
There's so many people who are like, oh, I'll just tell you what to do. And they're over there eating a Snickers bar while they're
Right.
telling their kid.
That is not encouraging.
No, do it with them. Get in the trenches with them. That's why we coach. We don't coach because we have all the answers. We coach because we have been in that pit with them and we know the way out. We jump in the pit with our clients. We're down there and it's ugly sometimes. Coaching is hard work.
Yeah.
So that's our encouragement for you today. Get the empathy hat on before you address any GLP-1 issues with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah, I agree.
So message us, by the way, if you want to know the allulus protocol that we're using. We'd be happy to share it with you. It's amazing. We do have that. Message us. And if you're one of our clients who are watching us live, you're going to get that protocol in your inbox very, very soon. If you are struggling, if you are on a GLP-1 and you're scared, just send us a message. We have a GLP-1 recovery program. Again, we need you on it for 4 months. Do not take your last shot and call us, okay? Because you're going to go through hell if you do that. Don't. We have the program. It's ready to go. It's launched. We have a recovery program. If you are someone, here's something that you might consider. You may be someone who has family members on it and you're like, and they're not ready to hear it yet. You could go through the program yourself so you know what to do so that you can kind of start speaking life and speaking truth nuggets into your family member because you're going to know what to do. You're going to know how to get your family member off of it. You're going to know how to be their support person, their wingman, their wingwoman. So you could take it, in the meantime, lose a couple of pounds yourself, right?
Yeah.
So we have
That's
a
good.
GLP-1 recovery program. It's ready to go. It's ready to launch. It's being in use right now. It is a 4-month program, by the way. So it is intense. It's hard, but it has been there. We've seen so many victory stories come from it. If you're just in the normal season of life where you're like, I am considering a GLP-1, maybe our last hope is Coach Darcy or Coach Monica. If that is you, we suggest our 3-month program. Our 3-month program will get you through the ugly. And our normal training will help you lose about 30 pounds in that 3 months. And you'll be a part of our group support weight loss, our weight loss support group. You'll be a part of that. You'll go every other week, one-on-one coaching with Coach Darcy or myself. And that's where we have, that's our starting point. So we love you guys. We love you enough to tell you the truth. You probably won't hear a lot of what we talk about out there very much because it is hard to say the things that we say. It's very hard. Let us know how we can help you. And we would be glad to. We are here every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Coach, do you have any last minute words?
Not today.
All right. Oh, by the way, go to our podcast, Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness, where we drop a new podcast nearly every week. We have gotten a lot. Life has happened.
Listen.
So I need a boss to say, sit down in the studio and record. Yeah. All right, guys. We will see you next Tuesday morning. Take care.
Bye.
Hey, it's Coach Monica here. Guess what? If you're fed up with feeling stuck in your battle with weight or food, I've got something just for you. Check out our free Facebook groups. Over at Food Addiction and Recovery, I'm over there waiting for you. We're going to walk this journey together. It's about getting real, sharing our stories, and lifting each other up. We're in this together every step of the way. And if you're curious about changing your life with keto, the Weight Loss Project is where you want to be. Coach Darcy is amazing. And together, we're not just talking about losing weight. We're talking about finding a happier, healthier you. So, what do you say? Are you ready to join us? The links are in the show notes below. And I'm telling you, this is more than an invite. It is the start